Hey, and welcome to my channel Stuff About Stuff, where I talk about stuff, in my opinion. And on today's episode, we're going to be talking about breathing. Why? Because breathing is so important. They say you can last months without food, days without water, and only minutes without breath. Why? Because breath is the mechanism for transporting oxygen throughout the entire body. So I guess it's something in life we probably really want to master. Oxygen is obviously very important to all living things. Oxygen is alkalizing and vitalizing. We need oxygen for our body to function. For example, when you get brain damage, your brain has an actual mashed part of the brain that can't get oxygen to that part of the brain. If you can rebuild that tissue and oxygen gets there, you can actually reverse the effects of brain damage. And it's actually been done through the use of hyperbaric chambers, which I'll go into on another episode. So now that we know oxygen is so important, learning how to transport it through the body is obviously a really important skill to have. So that's why I'm going to run through these techniques. What does a successful race car driver, mathematician, and businessman all have in common? They all breathe well under pressure. When they're breathing well and they're circulating oxygen throughout the body, they function to their optimal level. Now, if you're liking this so far, subscribe, click on the notification so you get all my new videos. Check out my Instagram page with all my photography, and stay tuned for more videos. So I'm about to teach you my 3 best breathing techniques. Now, firstly, I want to say that I believe the nose is for breathing and the mouth is for eating. So most of your breath in should come through the nose. I kind of have a theory that when you breathe in, more oxygen gets to the brain and allows the body to function a little bit better. Because it's the brain that's the control center for the rest of your body. And in my opinion, that's just after being instructed what to do by the gut. But we'll get into that in another episode. Okay, number 1, breathing technique. This breathing technique is used for relaxing and helping you sleep. This is what works for me. I breathe in for 8, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 through the nose. I hold for 12, and I breathe out for 10. When I'm breathing out, I make a sound, a vibrating sound. So it's like this, breathing in, 8, hold, 12, breathing out for 10. Make the vibration sound because I personally believe vibrating the glands in the brain help relieve chemicals that allow your body to function that little bit better. And I do notice that when I actually do vibrate as I breathe out, I actually do feel the difference. Give it a try yourself. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Breathe in for 8, hold for 12, breathe out for 10. Do that 7 times, and I promise you, you'll be so relaxed, you'll be ready to sleep. Matter of fact, I could probably have a nap right now. Fucking yeah. Just kidding, but it does help you relax and it does help you sleep. Give it a go. And again, let me know what you think. Breathing technique number 2 is going to help you cope with pressure, and it's going to heal you. How do I know that? Because it's been tested. It's the Wim Hof method. It's probably one of the most tested breathing techniques that I've heard of. If you haven't heard of it, go and check him out. It's super interesting. Through breathing through this technique, he's able to break records to withhandle the pressure of either heat or cold or even emotional stress through oxygenating his body. What he does is he hyperventilates, breathes all the way out, pushes the carbon dioxide out of the body, breathes fresh oxygen into the body and holds it there while it pressurizes it throughout the body, allowing your endocrine system to actually release all the hormones it needs to cope. It's kind of like biohacking and accessing the parts of the body that need to be accessed to deal with whatever pressures you're actually dealing with. It's remarkable. Check him out. This is the technique. You hyperventilate 30 times. Breathe all the way in. He says you can actually breathe in through the mouth, out through the mouth, whatever you like. Personally, in my opinion, I like to breathe in through the nose as high as you can. Breathe out through the mouth pretty much as far as you can, and do that 30 times. Breathe in. 30 times. Before you know it, you start to feel tingly, you start to feel lightheaded. That's a good sign. Actually, I'm starting to feel it now. After you do that 30 times, breathe all the way out and hold your breath. Do that for as long as you can, then breathe all the way in and hold your breath. Now again, he says you don't have to hold your breath in for as long as you can, but I personally like to do that. When you're breathing out, you're pushing all the carbon dioxide out of the body. Now normally if I haven't done the hyperventilating and I do that, I can usually only hold my breath out for about 10 seconds if I'm lucky, sometimes 20. But once I've done this exercise, I can usually hold my breath out for a minute or 2 minutes. I've held my breath out after doing that exercise for 2 minutes in a hyperbaric chamber. Usually when I breathe in, I can usually hold my breath for about a minute and a half. Once I've done this exercise, I reach 2.5 minutes easy. In a hyperbaric chamber, I've been able to hold my breath for 4 minutes after doing this exercise. A personal record. Now when you do this exercise, you feel it instantly. When you're breathing in and holding your breath, the rush you get is insane, and it's not some kind of like twisted head rush. It's actually a really good feeling. You can feel the sensation of it straight away. It actually vitalizes you instantly. It wakes you up, and it's been proven to fight off disease. In a study with 24 people, they injected with a virus. Wim Hof instructed 12 of them to breathe with his method, and those 12 fought off the virus. The other 12 were stuck with it. So I try to do this every day. I personally did this 5 days in a row, and 15 years of eczema actually disappeared. Now, I know you're not going to believe that necessarily because it's on camera, but if you've got eczema, try it 5 days in a row and tell me what you think. The only thing is, when you're doing the hyperventilating, make sure your fingers are tingling before you hold your breath out. Breathing technique number 3. Okay, this breathing technique is kind of like my own devised version of a meditation. I've been doing this for about 20 years and I find it works for me amazingly. When I've been doing it consecutively for months, things start to fall into place for me. It's a traditional technique that I've refined to suit what I think is important. Here it is. I sit in a cross-legged position with my fingers like this, no particular reason. I just sit with my hands like this on each knee. You can sit however you like. Just sit with your hands, fingers crossed, or even like this in the middle of your lap. But sit there with your back straight, upright, and relaxed. I close my eyes. I breathe in slowly through my nose, out through my nose, in through my nose, out through my nose. Now, not only am I focusing on my breath, but I'm also focusing on the sounds that I hear. So I'm focusing on what I can hear, the birds, the cars driving past, the cracks of the wall, the this, the that, whatever it may be. And on top of that, I also spend time focusing on what I can see with my eyes closed. So if you close your eyes, you see lots of different lights. Now, if you focus on those lights, they sort of morph around and move from here to there and whatever else. So between the two, I trade. So I'm focusing on the lights that I can see. And when I lose my concentration on that, I move to the sounds. And I hold those for as long as I can. My record on that is usually only about a minute or a minute and a half. However, I am meditating for about 15 minutes at a time. So in 15 minutes of meditating, I'm only able to hold my concentration on any one of those two aspects for about a minute at a time. On top of that, actually, I also concentrate on what I can feel. So if I'm sitting upright and it's a warm day and I'm sweating and I can feel sweat pouring down, I concentrate on that sweat pouring down my cheek or the sensation of my clothes or my top or whatever it may be. The point of all this is that what I'm actually doing while I'm doing that is I'm focusing on the moment. I'm focusing on the right here and now. Now, we've all heard that a million times before. You've got to be in the here and now. That's how you discover the magic of life. It's in the here and now. This particular moment right here. This particular moment, this particular space. This particular moment and this particular space. Like this moment, like right now. Like this moment, like this moment, like this moment, like this moment right here. Right now, this is where the magic is. See that? Like this moment right here. So what you're doing is you're getting your mind in this moment and this moment and this space. Now, this is what I call a concentration or a focus meditation. Once you do this for about 10 or 15 minutes a day, you enhance the ability to be able to focus on single tasks at a time. It helps you deal with things. It helps you work out things. So it helps you coordinate all the parts of the brain together so you can function and really pull in all the parts of the body and the mind and the stomach and the gut and focus in on issues and deal with them. I believe that's the key to life. Now, some people say that you can meditate by just sitting back and relaxing and closing there and just closing your eyes and just relaxing and just that, and that's a meditation. In my opinion, that's not an effective meditation. It's an effective way to relax, good on you. But you're not going to attain the main benefits of traditional meditation that they've done throughout the years to biohack the mind. Biohacking the mind through meditation, I believe, needs to be done with a concentration or a focused meditation. Now, the reason why we're sitting upright is sitting upright through a mild discomfort helps us to still concentrate on the either sound or the vision or the feeling that we can feel in that moment. So, through a certain level of discomfort, we're still able to focus and ignore those discomforts. Because in real life, we're constantly bombarded with certain kinds of discomfort, right? So this ability to be able to concentrate and focus on the task at hand while you have these distractions being thrown at you is a pretty crucial ability to deal with whatever you need to deal with in life. So right now, I've got distractions of car sounds. I've got distractions of hunger. I've got distractions of, well, not too many distractions right now because I'm kind of focused because I just did my meditation. But this is what gives me the ability to be able to concentrate and focus for such a long time. I feel this is a task all kids should be taught at school from a very young age. Again, tell me what you think, comment below, whatever you think, I'm happy to hear it, any feedback you like. Thanks for watching, subscribe to this channel, check out my Instagram, click on the notifications, do all that stuff, and see you on the next one. Ciao. Did I forget anything? Peace.